The Pharaoh is the heart of Egypt. The land is its body, and the people are its blood. One day you will rule Egypt, my son. Your armies will thunder across the boundless desert. And it shall tremble beneath them, as it shook beneath the pounding feet of the countless men who toiled in the burning sun to build your grandfather's eternal resting place. He was Egypt, just as I am Egypt, and as you will be Egypt. His face is my face, and your face. His strength, our strength, for his blood runs in our veins. He labored a lifetime to build this monument, which now watches over us. And when it was complete, so too was his life complete. Yet even as my father was taken by Anubis, a new life came forth. And as your grandfather was bound in fine linen, so were you wrapped in swaddling clothes. And a new day dawned for Egypt. In time, each pharaoh must heed the call of Osiris and embark on a final journey to the immortal realm. For when the day of Pharaoh's reign is at an end, so the night of his eternal sleep begins. While he slumbers undisturbed, so shall Egypt endure.
Well, that movie was a very good introduction to Pharaoh and Cleopatra. Hey guys, welcome back to the land of Egypt, the land of the pharaohs. I am Sajuuk, as you know, and you're probably wondering why you're seeing yet another bit of Pharaoh content on my channel. I've done 2 playlists, so why would I need to do another? Well, several things really. The first playlist I ever did back in 2011, over a course of several years, was, yes, it did cover all the missions, but it was very poorly done. It was in low res, and it had no narration, and it was also done on the easiest difficulty you could imagine. Second playlist, which I did on normal, was shit. I can tell you that right now, it was shit. Because it had poor housing block designs, poor editing, poor length, it wasn't done very well. And I was sort of going in really blind. I wasn't playing the game the way I should have been playing on normal difficulty. And it didn't have good narration and all that. But it didn't show the entire campaign. It only showed sort of like a generic playthrough, really. It wasn't very good. So today, I can announce we're coming back with Pharaoh. And I'm going to be doing every mission in Pharaoh, every mission in Cleopatra. But it's not going to be a normal difficulty. It's going to be on hard difficulty. I think I'm good enough to be able to play this game on hard. I've been playing the missions a lot, I've been playing loads of missions, trying out various new designs, trying to work out basically how to be the really efficient player that I can be. So we're going to be going into Pharaoh and Cleopatra here. I know it says GOG.com website because I haven't updated the version of the game because I don't reinstall often, so it does have that button, but that's okay. We're going to head and create a new family. We're going to create... Why not just call it the Super Sajuuk family? Why not? That's probably the easiest way. And we're going to begin family history. So we've got 9 dynasties, yep. 5 in Pharaoh, 4 in Cleopatra. And I'm going to come to the Cleopatra ones much later. In terms of how I'm going to edit these episodes, it's going to be fairly... What's the word? I'm going to try and make it like 1 video per mission. But in some cases I may put it into 2 videos, it depends. And I'm going to be doing it all, and I'm going to do as many edits. I'm going to try and do good content and just show as much as I can, but in a highlighted sort of manner. So not show everything, but show all the key things that you need to know about the mission. Anyway, we're going to go into the pre-dynastic period here. Your family begins the pre-dynastic period leading a small band of nomads through their discovery of the arts of civilization. Your leadership helps to set Egypt on its course to eventual greatness. but still glimpsed only dimly. Let's begin.
It is said that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So may the story of a great nation begin with one dream. The Red Land has given birth to such a dream. Clans of nomads carry it in their heart, across the immeasurable desert and into the land of Egypt.
Welcome to ancient Egypt, land of the pharaohs. Here you'll participate in the history of one of the greatest civilizations the world has ever seen. In an epic story that spans more than 15 centuries and 24 generations. You must lead one family, generation by generation, from its earliest beginnings in Egyptian prehistory, through the dawn of civilization, to the establishment of a unique and powerful empire and beyond. Our story begins more than 5,000 years ago, along the banks of the Nile River in an area known as Nubt. Here, a small confederacy of clans struggles to eke out an existence in the harsh environment. With you at its head, your family leads this small settlement.
Well, alright then, we're going to head into the very first mission of the game. We're playing Nubt, and for the record, I'm going to be playing the missions with their Egyptian names, not the classical names. But in the title and the description, I will put the classical name for those people who do play on those difficulties. So Nubt, a village is born. 6 major shanties, which is fairly easy to get on these missions, but there's clear immediate goals. But first of all, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this difficulty up to hard, which if it's going to work. So we're going to be playing on hard mode. And I'm going to be doing every bit of effort I can to win the entire game, every mission on that difficulty. And I will indicate if a mission is too difficult, I will lower it. But I will try to do hard mode throughout, because there's not too many differences. So let's head to the city. And start with our city here, starting in 3500 BC. Seems a long time ago, doesn't it? Just for the record also, I'm playing with the widescreen patch on Cordelios. And this is an updated version of the widescreen patch that I used for my previous Let's Play. It's got lots more fixes and it just looks a lot better. You won't see many of those fixes right now. Anyway, the first thing this village will need are housing to provide settlers with a suitable place to live, and a network of roads to allow its eventual inhabitants to find their way around easily and efficiently. Build areas of housing, and soon you'll see people move into the city. Blah blah blah. Click and drag the obviously. At every intersection, walkers must choose which way to go, so each intersection lessens your control over their actual routes. Pretty much quoted from Caesar 3. Plan roads carefully with as few intersections as possible to ensure that the people will go where you want. The path by which these immigrants reach your city is known as the Kingdom Road, which is this, basically. And you need to always have free passage of it, blah blah blah. Now I'm just going to make sure that the game's not running too fast. It's at the right speed. These are my speed settings, and I'll just quickly show you my sound settings, all maxed out, because I'm doing my new technique of recording, which is with multiple audio tracks. And yeah, it's going to make it sound a lot better. I'm going to try and reduce the mouse clicking as well so it doesn't sound obnoxious. So all we have to do in this very first tutorial mission is just put out some housing. So let's just do this. I'm just going to do a road like that. And like that. There. So that's about all the housing that we should need on this. So we're just going to do that. Now for these tutorial missions, I'm not going to do fancy block designs. There is no point. You don't start with a shit ton of money. And that's just no real reason to go too in depth with fancy ass block designs. But once we start getting towards the Old Kingdom, we will start to use different housing block designs. Floodplain, which we'll talk about later. So we can just speed this right up. People will start moving in. And I will try to play on a slow speed so it doesn't run too fast, because I want to try to explain as many things as I can throughout this Let's Play. Techniques and things like that, so I will try to make this more quite of a useful guide for you guys. Anyway, food or famine. A growing population needs a reliable source of food and some means of storing and distributing it. Certain animals, like the ostriches in this region, can be hunted for game. Granaries store game and other foods while bazaars distribute the food to the village inhabitants. As with most working structures, in order to function properly, these buildings must be located within reach of housing, and the city must have enough workers to staff them. Build a hunting lodge close to the ostrich flocks, sorry if I say the word's a bit weird, and hunters will set out in search of prey. If successful, they'll bring back the carcasses back to the lodge to be butchered, after which a cart pusher will deliver them to the nearest ground for storage. Different workers from the bazaar assess the needs of the neighbourhoods they serve, acquire food from nearby granaries, and deliver the food, blah blah blah. Guild the things as by this button here. Ultimately, your goal of this mission is to transform some of your crude huts into meagre shanties. This is accomplished by providing with water and food from the bazaar. Make sure they're not too close to any unsightly industrial buildings or inferior housing, because that discourages things. Just for the record, because on hard difficulty, the requirements of a house to evolve are a lot different. They're a little bit higher than normal. You might sort of like the effect of a building is not as much, and they also consume more as well. But for those people who've played this game plenty of times on hard mode, that will be nothing new to you. So we're just going to do 4 of those, and that should be enough. And it doesn't matter which way they walk, they will pass these houses at some point, so we can just speed this up and get some food. Some bonus sort of events will happen if you play the mission long enough. It looks as if we should be able to finish fairly quickly, so we are going to put a bazaar there. So clean water, so you've managed to supply the village ground with food, provide access to clean water, which is from a water supply. So we could just put this water supply. Now, water supplies are better than wells, because wells only give you up to common shanty, by which point you're going to need one of these anyway. So for the most part, I will never build a well in this game. I always build water supplies because they're just so much nicer. They do consume a bit of workers, but it's a lot better in the long run to provide water supplies. They're needed anyway to evolve your housing. Now, as I said, there's going to be a lot better edits in this playthrough. For these sort of tutorial missions, I'm not going to waste time doing too many edits. It's going to be towards the latter archaic period missions and throughout the old kingdom, where I will start to do more editing and planning in the background and just coming back in to show you each time, because I think that's the most appropriate thing to do. So yeah, let's just speed time up. So here's the fire village. Okay, that's good. So if you let time run on long enough, you will get fires, but that's okay. So this bizarre person here, Andre Mose. Now, the one thing to know is that with Cleopatra installed, the names get really mixed up, but hey, who cares? So this person is a bazaar buyer. She goes from the bazaar to a place that stores the items she wants, and she goes and collects it, brings it back. There are some bugs with this. I will sort of go through these as time passes on, but there's another fire because things are ripping through this. On hard mode, fire risk goes up quite quickly. Now we should be able to evolve plenty of these houses up to the top level as needed. I hope these guys are just going to do something before this whole place burns down, because that would be nasty. Let's just sort of spam these things around. And now the granary caught fire. How nice. The whole lot just burns down. Excellent. Just speed this up. Meager shanty's on fire now. Look at all these things just burning down on hard mode. It's excellent, isn't it? Let's just cut back on the houses. There. Just put back the granary. It is hard mode, so sort of it doesn't matter how I play, and it really doesn't matter about the money either. So we don't need to worry too much on this mission about things going wrong in this kind of weird way. Just put some houses out, and we should be able to win the mission fairly quickly. And there we go, mission completed. It's only a tutorial mission, so it doesn't matter how we won it. We won it in pretty good time. Anyway, let's proceed.
Well done. By filling your people's bellies with nourishing food and protecting their homes from fire and collapse, you have helped this fledgling civilization take its first step on the long road of history.
Indeed we have. We learned how to feed people. Basically, I allowed them to burn down to the ground. And we didn't learn about collapse because the collapse thing didn't happen straight away, but that was the first mission. Nubt, I know it says here I did it on normal. It's because if you change your difficulty level on the mission briefing screen, it doesn't register it. You get some changes to the thing, but it just registers if you started the mission on that difficulty that it was beforehand. Ignore this test 1, 2, 3. I did do a test just to do some test recordings and all that. Anyway, enough about that. That was Nubt. Thanks for joining this first episode. And in the next episode, we're going to head on to the next mission in the pre-dynastic period and learn some rather interesting things. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next part, folks. Bye now.